Hey everyone, John here, and welcome to the second part of the TOS progression guide. I finally fixed my mic, so I hope the audio quality is a little bit better. So let's take a look at the topic list again. I missed talking about set bonuses on Valkoffer last time, so this time I'll be taking a look at it today. I'll also be covering accessories, enhancing, transcending, awakening, and jewel enchants. So this is going to be a long one, so let's get started. First, let's take a look at accessories. Unlike gear, there are no randomly rolled accessories. Accessories are only obtained through recipes from field bosses and monsters or from raids. A great resource is the Trio Savior website itself. I'll link it in the page in the description, but it's a great webpage that lists all the different places to get accessories with a nice interface to boot. Accessories in this game consist of 2 bracelets and a necklace. To get started, we'll take a look at an accessory set from Valkoffer. You can obtain these randomly from the Valkoffer raid cubes. These 2 accessories are the Varpas and the Verho sets. People still use them as they are a great source of single target damage. The Verho is meant for casters while the Varpas is for physical DPS. You want these for the 3rd set bonus, which you can get by equipping the necklace and 2 bracelets. They give additional damage on every 5th hit, and this is very useful if you have a lot of multi-hit on your character, and would recommend them for any wizard or scout that can multi-hit well. The stats are a bit lower and these accessories will be outdated soon, but for the current patch, it's still an okay set. Next, we have another kind of outdated accessory set, the Soul Mickey accessory set. You can get these at the Earth Tower raid, and even though Earth Tower is a bit of old content, these accessory sets, in my opinion, are still pretty good, and I still see some of the top players rocking these until they get their Dracanos. There are 3 forms of this accessory set, the cloth, leather, and plate, but they're all pretty much the same. The only reason that there's 3 different versions is for the set bonuses, as they only provide set bonuses for the same type of item. For example, if you have a plate necklace, a plate bracelet, and a cloth bracelet, you won't get the 3 set bonus. And just by looking at these accessories, you can see why they're so good. The necklace gives plus 40 to main stats of most classes, the bracelet gives decent con, and the 3 set bonus is plus 25 to all stats. This is just a solid accessory set all around until you can get one of the better ones like Dracanos. Next up, we have the FFL or Former Fantasy Library accessory sets, the Rangovis and the Nepagristus. These 2 sets are very top tier accessory sets currently. The Nepagristus is great for any physical DPS class, as it has a high crit bonus. You need to transcend and enchant the Nepagristus accessories to get the crit bonuses listed on the set bonus. These also provide nice physical DPS and dex, which makes it great for any physical DPS class. The Rangovis set, on the other hand, is one of the best for healers and summoners, until you can get one of the Dracanos accessories. These give the most spirit of any accessory set, and the set bonus is great for summoners. Even without the set bonus, clerics will want this set as healing is based off your spirit, and these accessories give high spirit and defenses. Finally, we have the Field Boss and Demon Lord accessories, and their Dracanos versions. The 4 sets are the Kitemore, Freno, Linky Sit, and the Pasiutis sets. The recipes of these sets can only be obtained by killing Demon Lords, and because you have to place top 5 DPS on those Demon Lords, the recipes can get fairly expensive. Not only do you have to get the recipes, you have to get 70 Ominous Spirit Fragments to complete one piece of the accessory. These Ominous Spirit Fragments are only obtained by killing field bosses, and because you need 70 for each piece, you need 210 to complete the full accessory set. There are a ton of other headaches in crafting these besides the spirit fragments. I won't go over them all as each craft is slightly different, but these are all really hard to get. Not only are they hard to get, if you look at the stats and the set bonuses, they're actually not worth the craft compared to the Valkoffer or the FFL accessory sets. The only exception to this, in my opinion, is the Freno set, which is a really top tier accessory set for multi-hit classes like Wizard or Scouts, specifically the Schwarzer Raider class. I don't know how to pronounce that. But the Freno set is pretty popular for farming solo challenge modes or even farming high grounds because the AoE damage bonus can annihilate masses of monsters. However, these can upgrade into the Dracanos versions, which are currently the best accessory sets in the game. I won't go too much into detail about the Dracanos accessories as they're really rare and difficult to obtain. You must participate in the Guild vs Guild content Boruta and place top 4 as a guild to get some of the recipes and magic stones needed to craft these accessories. If you look at the recipe I have and as an example, you'll see that you'll need Field Boss and Demon Lord accessory sets, and on top of that other top tier accessory sets like from FFL to craft them, and magic stones as well. But if you look at some of the bonuses, they are insanely good. All of them, except maybe the Kitemore set, which I still think is pretty good, are top tier and can really make you at the top of the server. At the time of recording, only a few people in the top guilds have a Tricono set, and they will hopefully be more obtainable in the future with the new hunting grounds coming up and magic stones being more readily available. And just to note, you will need seals, which I'll explain later, to activate Dragon Strength level 2, and these seals are also really difficult to obtain and you can only get them from Boruta content. So Dracono sets are very, very endgame sets, and I wouldn't really plan on them if you're playing as a new player. And that's it for accessories. I would stick with the FFL, Valkoffer, or Field Boss accessories for a long time until one day you finally craft one of those Draconos. Next up, we have enhancing. You can enhance all your equipment from armor, weapons, or accessories, and it will gain bonus magical, physical, defense, or attack depending on the piece you are upgrading. To enhance an item, you need anvils, and there are 4 different types. There are regular anvils, which you can buy from the item shop in town for cheap. There are silver anvils, which can be obtained through events, TP, or through other means. These let you enhance with no cost, as it normally costs silver to enhance an item. There are golden anvils, which can be obtained through low drop from monsters, TP, or events. These let you enhance on items with 0 potential without it breaking. And after plus 12, it'll reset your item to plus 10 when you fail. So these are usually used to get to plus 11. And finally, diamond anvils. These have mostly been removed from the game, but IMC sometimes brings them back, and they're very pay to win anvils. They let you enhance, and when you fail, you don't lose a level. Here I'll show an example of enhancing. You click on the anvil you'll use, and then you click on the item you'll enhance. A little menu will pop up, and it'll show you the price in silver of how much it costs to enhance. After you click the enhance button, a little anvil will pop up, and you hit the anvil 3 times and you'll either succeed or fail. Up to plus 5, there is a 100% success rate, but after that your chances go down. Every failure you will lose 1 potential on your item. If you fail enhancing or transcending at 0 potential, your item will break and blow up. Also at 0 potential, the item becomes untradeable and you'll no longer be able to trade it to other players or market the item. Up on the screen, I have enhancing rates for both armor and weapons. These are success chances for each level. One thing to note before we talk about these enhance rates is that plus 6, plus 11, plus 16, and plus 21, you get bigger bonuses than the other levels, so those are normally good places to stop. Plus 6 is a very safe and good level, plus 11 is for a decently geared player, plus 16 is where a lot of the top players have their gears at, and anything above plus 21 is pretty much godlike territory. Also to note, with the reintroduction of Rebuild, enhancing doesn't give as much defense or attack as it used to. Transcending is really where you get your attack and defense bonuses nowadays, so don't waste too much money going all in for the plus 11s and the plus 16s, as plus 6 or plus 11 is good enough even for top tier, a Team Battle League or GTW. Back to enhancing rates, because you lose a level every time you fail, going past plus 9 can get very difficult. If you fail, you go to plus 9, then down to plus 8, then to 10, then you go down to 9. You get the picture. This can plow through your potential on your item very quickly, so don't waste all your potential too much on enhancing, as you need to save some for sockets on your items for gems, and you should maybe at least keep 1 potential so you can resell or trade the item at a later date. I would say try to go for plus 11, and if you don't make it, it's not a big deal because transcending is more important. Next up, we have Transcendence. Transcending your equipment will provide it with a lot of attack and defense. Every stage of Transcendence provides your weapon or armor with a 10% bonus. For example, my stage 7 pistol, I get 70% bonus in attack, and for my Transcendence 10 Valkoffer greaves, I get 100% bonus in defenses, magical and physical. This is really where your gear gets upgraded, and it can get quite expensive. To transcend your equipment, you must talk to any blacksmith. For legendary equipment, you can only transcend at the legendary blacksmith in Fedemian. It will cost Goddess's Blessed Gems to transcend your item. You can get these from crafting them with 10 Blessed Shards, or from Gem Feud. Once you talk to the blacksmith and hit Transcendence, you will be given a screen to put your weapon or armor in. Here you can add Goddess's Blessed Gems to increase the success rate up to 100%. If you fail a Transcendence, you will lose a potential. With how important potential is on an item, I would highly recommend going for the 100% every time. If you look at my pistol before and after, I gained around 500 physical attack from going from +7 to +8. That's a lot more than what I got from anvil enhancing. So I would definitely recommend new players to go for Transcending instead of the shiny +16s, as +16s are very difficult to get, while Transcending to stage 10 is not that hard. A great place to find the total amount of Blessed Gems you need to get to stage 10 can be TOS Need. I'll put a link in the description down below. The amount of Blessed Gems you need to get to 100% or stage 10 is different for armor, one-handed weapons, and two-handed weapons. I believe the total amount of gems you need for 100% for a two-handed weapon is 203 Blessed Gems, so I hope you're doing Gem Feud and Salus every day. Next up, I want to talk about socketing your equipment and putting gems into it. There are 5 basic types of gems you can socket into your equipment: red, green, blue, yellow, and white. Red provides physical attack for your weapons and block for your top and bottom. I would not recommend using these for accuracy unless you know what you're doing. Green provides magical crit on weapons and crit rate for gloves and boots. I would not recommend using these for evasion unless you know what you're doing. Blue provides magical attack for weapons and magical defense for top and bottom. I would not recommend using these for the critical resistance unless you know what you're doing. And finally, yellow provides physical crit for your weapons and physical defense for top and bottom. And once again, I would not recommend going for the block penetration unless you know what you're doing. There's finally a 5th type of basic gem, the white gem, that provides loot chance in all slots. These are for very specific farming builds and would recommend using them on your loot chance gear if you have a farming character. The negative stats you see on the gem can be removed by roasting the gem. You can roast a gem at a player shop with the gem icon. There's no consequences to roasting, so feel free to roast whenever. This will stay even if you level up your gem. To socket a gem, you must first open up a socket at the blacksmith for your armor. If you talk to the blacksmith and hit socket management, a menu will appear. You can drop the armor in it and it will cost 1 potential to open up a socket on your armor, which is why potential is very important. If you hit add socket, it will open up the socket. To add the gem to the socket, you simply right click the gem and then left click the item you're trying to socket it into. To level up your gem, you sit in rest mode and click enhance gem. Here you can put the gem in and level it up. You can put it in abrasive gem powder, other gems, or equipment to raise the gem EXP. I would not recommend putting in equipment however, as you can dismantle it for knuckle powder instead. The amount of EXP you need scales exponentially, so a good place to stop is 7, maybe 6 if you're really poor. Levels 8 and 9 require a lot of EXP and investment, so I've only seen a handful of top players have these, and I haven't personally seen anyone with a level 10 gem on our server. You can also put skill gems in your equipment. These have a very low drop rate from monsters. Not all skills have relevant skill gems, and you should know that these do not stack, so you can't use the same skill gem multiple times on a character. Depending on your build, you may want to use these in your glove and boot sockets instead of colored gems, or you might even want to put some more on your weapons and shield depending on your build. Finally, we have Awakening and Jewel Enchants. These 2 bonuses can be used to give additional stats to your equipment. To awaken an item, you must go to the player shop with a shining sword symbol. Once there, you can awaken an item for 1 potential. You can also put in an awakening stone to awaken the item without using a potential. I would highly recommend saving the potential and using the stone, but stones are pretty rare and they can only be found from fishing or events, so good luck getting them. Good rolls for awakening are HP, crit rate, physical and magical attack, and some defenses as well. There are also jewel enchants that you can use to boost your equipment further. To To enchant your equipment, you simply click on the jewel and put your equipment in it and hit enchant stat button. All your jewel enchant stats are positive, so if something says PvP damage decrease, that means the damage you take will be decreased. Jewel enchants cost no potential, so feel free to use this whenever. There are different tiers of jewels, from purple, orange, and yellow. The higher grade jewel you use, the higher the number will roll. These stats don't stack, so if you have 2 jewel enchants that give you movement speed, only the higher one will take effect. I just want to show off some of the equipment I have and some of the enchant and awakenings I have. For my pistol, I have movement speed and critical. For my greaves, I have PvP damage enchant. For my bracelet, I have magic defense awakening. For my necklace, I have an HP awakening, and for my other bracelet, I have an HP awakening. Just to note, you can awaken accessories, but you cannot jewel enchant them. Finally, we have Valkoffer sets. I missed this in my last video, but you can add set bonuses to Valkoffers. To do this, you have to talk to the Alchemist Master in Miner's Village. Talk to the Alchemist Master and buy the Partis solution. Once filled up, it will turn green. You can collect EXP on the Partis solution by right-clicking the item in your inventory and killing monsters or completing dungeons. To use the Partis solution, go to the Alchemist Master and hit Apply Set Stats. Drag your armor or weapon in, and if you hit OK, it will apply random set bonuses. You will be given one of the 5 sets shown on screen. Out of all of these 5, the Gaivan Nemes set is probably one of the better ones, as it gives you a lot of survivability and tankiness, and this is really important in PvP. The Krajas set is another good one that people go for, as it gives you dex and con, and it gives you a lot of physical damage with it. The other 3 are not as good and not as desired, but I personally think the Maragite set, the one that turns you into a magical girl, is pretty good and looks fun to play with. Do note, you'll need a full Valkoffer set, and you'll probably spend millions re-rolling, as each Partis solution is 3 million. These sets will take a long time to achieve and should be done later after you're done Icaring and transcending your gear. And that's all for part 2. This was another pretty long one with a lot to take in, so I hope I didn't miss anything. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope it helped. If you have any questions about any of the topics, leave a comment and I'll try to respond. And please do subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll try to make some more.